such a fan of Sleeping Beauty. I always was. So for me, I'm like having a weird fan moment too. But then I keep having to like kind of pinch myself and say that I am Aurora. That's a crazy thing.
It's unbelievable. You know, we're Hollywood Boulevard on a Wednesday night before Maleficent opens. It's packed, both sides of the street. The whole street's shut down. And it's weird. I can't help but think of guys like Walt Disney and Mark Davis and the people that created these characters. They would have never in their wildest dreams thought this would have happened.
Yeah, I haven't seen it all together with 3D, and I haven't. My kids saw a very early cut, so. Yeah, it's the first time all my 6 kids are at a premiere. We're kind of, some of them are hiding from all the cameras for the moment, but yeah, it's really exciting.
I think it's such an interesting thing that we're kind of exploring the darker side of fairy tales, and I think it's things that we all thought about as kids, and also like the darkest scenes from these films are the ones that kind of stay with you, and they're the ones that kind of hold the morals, so exploring things behind that is always going to be fascinating.
Just to see the pictures of what they have imagined it's so wonderful. I mean, aren't we lucky? Here we are, all grown-ups, dressing up as fairies and pixies. Nothing better, quite frankly. So to be part of someone else's really extraordinary imagination it's really very lucky to be part of that.
I was approached by Disney to see if I had any thoughts on a retelling of the story of Maleficent, the villain from Sleeping Beauty. Sort of created a past for her that led to the singular moment in which she curses the baby Aurora, and then takes us past that moment from Maleficent's point of view. But it's a reinvention. It's not sort of just a retelling of the same story.
As a kid, I grew up, my dad used to take us to see the re-releases of a lot of the Disney films, and you know, Sleeping Beauty was one of those. I remember seeing Pinocchio and Snow White and Cinderella. But I've been a fan of Disney films. Actually, a big inspiration in myself getting into film at all had to do with those types of films and those things. Angelina Jolie is, you know, obviously perfect for the role. I had even had thoughts about that before I was attached to this or her. I think. I mean, just looking back on the character, you can sort of look at her picture and Maleficent's image that we know, and see it as a marriage made in heaven.
I feel so lucky I get to play her. You know, she's fun. She's slightly insane, extremely vibrant, a little wicked, has a big sense of humor. So she's quite full on. You know, it's one of those characters that for me, you couldn't half do it. You know, once the horns go on, you start to, mind you, the first few days you knock your head on everything and you feel very silly and very awkward. And then Elle is Aurora. Elle is, from the moment I met her, she is just sunshine. She's a wonderful, sweet, intelligent young woman.
She's such an iconic character. You know, you see her and, oh, that's Sleeping Beauty, that's Aurora. You just know. So I was hoping that I could sort of bring the essence of her, and I know when you see pictures of her, sort of the way she stands with her hands, and I was just sort of taking it all in. And before we started filming this movie, I watched the animated movie again just to sort of see if I could pick up on any little mannerisms that she did while she's still sort of in the forest, and you know, also wanting to make her you know, have those elements, but also make her a real person, not just an animated character. So
after Prince Philip meets Aurora in the forest, I guess he defies his father's orders and he pursues this girl. And Maleficent finds Prince Philip before Prince Philip is able to find Aurora. And you know, in terms of the guy factor, there's a lot of really cool action sequences. And there's a lot of amazing battle scenes that'll be amazing to watch. And I haven't seen any of it myself, but I'm really looking forward to it.
When Maleficent curses Stefan's child, that's obviously a very big deal to him. She does it in his court in front of everybody at the child's christening. It's very humiliating. It's very degrading. He's just become king. He's trying to sort of keep his noble standing in the eyes of his subjects. I think, really, as a fairy tale, the moral of the story is true love is real. It does exist, and it will save you if you let it.